and welcome to the Looney Bin, the great pop culture debates fashion photo review of Canada's Drag Race. I'm your host, Eric Resniak, and I'm joined by my amazing panel of Brett Chin, who's with his husband, Kai Nessitchin, who's not with Curtis Creekmore, who's in Massachusetts.
And it is really, really warm in Massachusetts. So
yeah, it's not too cold in New York either. So we are going to be tooting, booting, pooting, and shooting the looks from episode 5 of Canada's Drag Race. It was the Snatch Game episode, Canada's first ever Snatch Game. And the runway theme this week was Night of a Thousand Celines. They call it Celine. I call it Celine because I'm from upstate New York. So we have to have harsh vowels on everything. And so whenever I describe Celine, you'll be hearing it that way. So we're going to start with our first gal up to the stage. It is Boa giving us Celine from the Met Gala 2019, and I'm going to go to Brett Chin first.
Again, it's a Noah for me. There's just the fringes on her outfit versus Celine's outfit. It doesn't go, and it's just too much fringe. You can't see her shape, and so it's a boot.
All right, Curtis Creekmore.
this is where you really get into Party City territory, because now you are actually comparing side by side the pictures of these people with what you're supposed to look like versus the dollar store version that you showed up with. And they read her for filth on the stage, and they should have, because there's no shape. There's so much fringe that there's no shape. And it's because if you look at her outfit, all of the fringe comes from the same level and it's all from above. While if you look at Celine's outfit, it's from above, but then it also comes from like her midsection, and you see a very well-defined shape on Celine's version of this look. While Boa, it is literally cousin it, just draping her with feathers. So it is a boot.
Kai Nessitchin.
You know, I think what Curtis just said, I agree with a lot of that. I didn't think about that. I really want to like this. I just feel like she could have worked the runway and worked the outfit more. If she had been twirling and moving and we could have seen beneath it, even if we didn't see beneath it, but it like wrapped around her body so we could see that cinching that she'd done, I think it would have looked really, really nice. I don't love the color. And again, it's comparing it to what Celine wore. But I think it's fun. I think she looks good. I'm going to give it a 2.
Good for you, Kai. I appreciate that. I don't hate it, I will say. Like, certainly it is very much the, like, what you order on Wish and then what you get situation. But I don't hate it. And, you know, we can say the mug is great. It's always great. Boa actually paints an amazing face. But I do agree with the criticism. There's too much fringe. There is no fringe benefit here. But I don't hate it. And I think they were being overly mean to her because that's like the narrative right now is, oh, let's shit on Boa. But it's fine. I'm going to go with Kai here, and I'm going to give it a 2. Hate on me, haters. Hate on me. All right, next up to the stage, we have Scarlet Bobo, who is giving us Paris Fashion Week 2019 Celine. Brett, you go first.
Again, comparing it side by side, it's not the best, but I actually like it. I don't mind this one because it looks good on her. And it doesn't look that cheap, doesn't look as Party City, doesn't look like Dollar Tree as much. So I'm gonna toot it.
Curtis.
I agree. I really liked this. I think the only thing that I didn't like was her hair. Celine did a very small bun, and I'm typically one of the people that's like, you're a drag queen, you have to do big hair, but the way that she did this big hair, just, it doesn't translate well to the picture. Like, you either have to do really big or you have to do like the person that you're emulating. So it's a toot. It's fantastic. It's amazing. But I think the hair is the one area that you could improve.
Kai.
Yeah, it really looks well. She worked the runway with it. I thought the outfit wasn't wearing her. I thought her shoes were great. You can't really see them in this photo, but I thought they went well with the outfit. And my first thought when I saw her makeup was she's trying something different. It's not the same smattering. I don't know if she hit the mark, but it didn't look like a failure. I agree about the hair. And then I'll just say my own little criticism, the tattoos pull me out. but that's a toot.
Yeah, so this was really the first time we've seen Scarlet go full glamour as opposed to kind of like clowny sex pot, and I appreciate that we got to see a different side of her. That was really nice. To me, I don't know what it was about this one more than any other ones. It didn't read Celine to me, even though the look is a close approximation, but I wasn't getting Celine at all. I understand exactly what Kai is saying about the paint being very different from her and not quite being as successful, but it was a different side of Scarlet. I like that. I am going to toot it, but I will say that it's not wowing me, and I need Scarlet to start wowing me in a big way on the show in general. Next up, we have Kiara in Courage album release Celine. All these girls are doing like 2019 Celines. It's bizarre. And I'm gonna throw it to Brett first.
So I want to like this one, and I've been going back and forth and watching it, and now comparing it side by side. It just looks too cheap to me. It looks like Dollar Tree to me. On the runway, it looked okay, but now looking at it more closely, so I'm just torn. But I think I'm gonna boot it.
Curtis.
I must be in a really good mood today. And maybe it was when I watched the episode too, because her snatch game was awful. It was absolutely the worst. I remember watching her walk down the runway, and I was like, that's actually not that bad. And when they showed the comparison, it looks fine. I don't love the tail, the literal tail that's coming out of her ass. But besides that, it actually all looks okay. Her makeup could be a little bit better, and that wig looks a little hard. But I'm going to give it a 2.
Kai.
Yeah, the hair I did not like at all. I really was confused. Maybe it was like the only thing she thought she had that looked a lot like what Celine was wearing that day or something. But the hair confused me. She worked the ponytail, but still confused me. And I really thought the makeup was a miss. Total miss. I don't know why the eyebrows were basically meeting her hairline. I don't know how that says Celine.
It's not following social distancing guidelines either.
No,
I just want to point that out.
Not even 6 inches.
Not even.
And I agree about the outfit. I went back and forth a lot with it. But I would say, as far as looking at Celine's outfit and her outfit, they do look very similar. So I think I'm going to go with a boot. Sorry, Kiara.
So I was a little torn on this one because, first of all, when Celine is a fashion icon, there's no question. She's had many amazing fashion moments. I felt a lot of the queens did not use many of those fashion moments. Instead, they went for, let me find something in my closet that looks kind of like a Celine Dion outfit that she has worn at one point in her career, and ta-da, I made it. Kiara, I'm specifically speaking to you. That's it. For some odd reason, it's like I have a mat on against Kiara, but I don't. I think she's fine. I'll go ahead and toot this. I guess it's remarkably unremarkable, but it's her last look for us. So here's a bone, Kiara. Enjoy. Toot. Next, we have Rita Baga, who gave us 2 Celine looks. She gave us the Eurovision 1988 pre-fame Celine, and then it revealed to a post-fame Celine, and I'm going to give it to Brett.
So the first look I wasn't a huge fan of. I also don't like the wig. I get that she's trying to do a comparison, but it didn't play off well. The first look, just okay. I wish that there was more cinching because Celine's thinner and these look like a marshmallow on the top. But the second look I liked better. But again, she needed to cinch it more because again, she blew up. So but I'm gonna give it a 2 because she gave 2 looks and they're not terrible.
Curtis.
Both of the looks look very similar to what Celine was giving. The hair is definitely a miss, but the look itself, very similar. I don't like either one of them. They are both very, very 80s, and that is not my aesthetic.
How dare you?
I know.
How dare you?
I know. I am a 90s girl, but I'm gonna give it a 2. They're both good. They're both exactly what she was going for. I do agree with the cinching, but 2.
Hi.
The outfit, I think the first outfit looks a little chunkier because of where the second one sits on her body. I think so. I don't dock points for that. I also think that they said it, I think, on this episode that Rita Baga's in her 30s. I don't think I would have guessed that, and I don't mean that as a read girl. I just that what you give in drag, especially, gives me older generation. Does it well, but it just gives me that. So I appreciated this for that. I liked that it wasn't 2019 look of Celine. It was something different. I agree. I like the second look better. And I liked her the way she changed personas too. I really like that. They love selling on the runway. Well done, Rita Baga. Yeah, little nitpicky things here and there, but toot.
I'm glad you brought up the fact that she paints very old. I don't know if that was a joke. They were like, she's 35, because I would have guessed Rita, based on her drag, late 40s.
Sure.
That is kind of a read. I mean, I think she's very, very good, and I respect the shit out of Rita. But if she's not intending to paint to be a much more mature woman, then something needs to change, because
Sure.
she presents significantly older than she is, if that joke about her being 35 is correct. I appreciated that she went with the pre-fame, still the little French girl, Celine, as her initial look. I kind of wish she just stuck with that, even though it is by far the less interesting look. But points for being ambitious. I'll always give a queen points for that. She did pull off the reveal well, and she gave us two completely different characters, so sure, it's a toot. Next to the stage, we have Jimbo, again giving another 2019 Celine. This one, Paris Fashion Week. I'm going to throw it to Brett.
Toot, 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 toot. I love this look. I mean, it's not the same. It's not exactly the same, but it's very similar. But it just looked good. Jimbo always just knows how to put together an outfit. So I like it. It is high fashion. It is different kind of fashion, but I loved it. So to
Curtis.
So we'll see in a little bit that another one of the queens doesn't pad, doesn't put on a breastplate, doesn't do anything to feminize her body, and it does not work. Jimbo, I'm not completely sure that Jimbo is padded here. I don't know if that's just kind of built into this outfit already, or maybe she is wearing at least lower pads, but this is a masculine outfit. Regardless of who is wearing it, Celine or Jimbo, it's a masculinized outfit, and it is stunning. It still comes across as feminine. She looks like she's about to go and scream at all of the people that are just joining the army, like they're coming off the bus, and she's about to yell at them, but it's gonna be fucking fierce. Like, I'm gonna do it. It's a shoot. This is a shoot for me, because this is just, it elevates the look. It elevates what Celine was wearing. Celine's wearing something that's like, it's matte. It's still amazing. It's beautiful. I love like the open with the breast there. She did it. She made it sparkly. They even said on the runway, they were like, we appreciate that you dragified this. It's a shoot. It's amazing.
Hi.
Yeah, I love it. I think one thing I noticed last week with the paper challenge is that sometimes Jimbo's face can look a little aged, even with makeup on it. And I just thought he corrected whatever I was thinking about last week. Mm-hmm. It even gave me a little bit of Gaga vibes.
Mm-hmm, totally.
So yeah, I loved it. It's a toot. Well done. Something different every week with him.
Yeah, I feel bad for all the other girls in this competition, because every week Jimbo's just coming out and snapping their necks. Like, it's Jimbo's Drag Race featuring like 9 other girls who also live in Canada. It's just, she's on a completely different level from anybody there. I was complaining earlier that they're all doing like 2019 Celine looks, which have been the year that they filmed this. And this is that, it's firmly from the La Roche era of Celine Dion, which is good. I mean, that's when she became like a resurgent fashion icon. But this is that, and it is elevated, and it's so much more interesting than anything else on that runway. Thanks for being here, Jimbo, because you are saving the runways for this season. It's a total toot. In fact, I'm gonna shoot it. Shoot it. Because everything else is pales in comparison. Speaking of which, let's go to Lemon, who gave us the Academy Awards 1998 My Heart Will Go On outfit. Brett.
So Lemon went sour for me. It's not, I mean, the dress, I get what she's going for. The dress is simple, but she needed padding. She needed a breastplate. She needed hips. If you're gonna wear something this simple, like the judge says, you need to dragify it and make it look good. And she just looks like and even her makeup and her hair, it looks like a boy in a wig, boy serving me boy body. It's a boot for me.
Curtis.
I love the Celine look. It looks so much classier for some reason. And I think it's because they didn't use a fabric that's shiny and lemon coming out on a stage that's filled with lights. It looks like spandex. And then you didn't put, well, I think she was singed, but you can't tell. That's the problem. Like, they definitely zoomed in on her and you could see the cincher through this dress. Problem. You didn't wear any chest. Problem. You didn't wear any hips. Problem. They called it jersey. They called it, that's what I have on my bed. Like, that's what I sleep on, is jersey fabric. I'm going to boot it, not poot it, because it is still an elegant look, but you can do better than this.
Kai.
I don't know. I've seen it a lot with Lemon. And not to drag Miss Cracker into this, but I saw it with her on the final, second to last episode, I think, of Drag Race, where they do put on the corset, and then where the corset comes down to the crotch kind of sticks out, and you get this little like pokey bump on the bottom. And that's what happened with this. No padding. I don't know why she doesn't pad. This to me, maybe it's not, but to me, it feels like pasties for Curtis. I don't understand why, if you're not wearing padding next week, and I don't care if you're doing some muscle gender bending thing, if you don't have padding somewhere on your body next week, Lemon, I may vomit. I may do everything that you wear after this, because I don't know what she's thinking. Boy body, hair looks bad. It's a boot.
Okay, so let me start this by saying I really like Lemon. I really do. I think she's very talented. I think she makes great TV. I thought her Snatch Game was a riot. I think she's super likable. Like, she's got it going on for me. And then there's this. And I want every future Drag Race contestant, I don't care which version you're on, to take what I'm going to call the Lemon Pledge. And that is, I'm not going to do myself like this. I'm not going to be this talented and walk out on that fucking runway looking that bad. You are so much more. Look, yes, the dress is elegant. And it's a great reference. Like, again, the thought process behind it is solid, but you're giving us, as everyone has said, boy body. The no padding, the no nothing. This a tube of flesh tightly wrapped in blue cheap jersey. It's a no, but more than that, we need an intervention, a wig intervention for the entire cast of Drag Race Canada. That wig line is so sharp it could grate cheese, and the other wigs on this runway were so dry. Like, my God, next year they really, if it comes back, and I hope it does because I very much enjoy the show, there needs to be a like soothe your wig challenge.
Yeah.
Moisturize it. Make love to your wigs, honey, because
the mini challenge this week is to brush your hair 100 times on each side.
And tell yourself that you're so pretty, because they are, right? So many of them are, but Jesus fucking Christ. Lemon. I don't know how you looked yourself in the mirror. I was like, yep, I got it. A little lip chap and mascara, and I'm good to know. No, you are not. You're better than this. Boot. Moving on, we have Ilona Verley doing the Celine Dion collection launch from 2017. Brett.
So I think, isn't one of the symptoms of COVID is that your lack of taste?
Yes.
That's her. She had I don't know what she's doing. It doesn't even look similar. The color, she did pink boots and made it look really cheap. Again, her wig is not great. It's I don't know what she's doing, but it's definitely a boot for me.
Curtis.
I would like to invite my panel to hit the right button on their keyboard to go to the next picture, which
What a sin.
I will be placing on the screen at this point. I don't
Sin.
know what that is. I cannot tell you what exactly is happening. It's a diaper, but it's a pad. It is a feminine hygiene product. It is so many things. She doesn't have pads on her to round out her hips. You can see it there. She's got thick thighs as a boy. It's Katy Perry in really bad drag trying to be something that she's not, which is good, and it's a poot.
Ooh, okay, Kai.
I think what I'll say about the fit, it looks to me like someone else, this was made for someone else. And maybe just the centerpiece was made for someone else, maybe someone bigger than her. And she said, you know what, I don't care, I'm gonna wear it. Because it looks like if someone had huge thighs and a big ass, that would probably fit a lot better and look a lot more normal. I don't know that though. The hair and makeup for me is killer. I think she knows what she's doing with her face, and she has better wigs than most. I'll say that.
That's not a challenge.
But as far as the challenge this week, I think it's kind of something else she did a couple weeks ago, where it's like she takes the challenge and then Alona sizes it, which doesn't always work, and I don't think it worked this time. It's a boot.
Yeah, so it really does read more Katy Perry than it reads Celine Dion for sure. I don't mind that she took, like, here's the inspiration and I'm making it my own. I actually do not mind that, but it doesn't really read Celine, and for that I think you have to boot it. There are the disastrous fit issues for sure. I do wonder if perhaps it was made for her, because I think Alona may have lost weight during the course of filming. If you compare this to like her week one, it seems to me as though perhaps she has lost some weight while filming. That's strictly conjecture on my part. I don't fully hate it, but I don't think it's meeting the assignment. And for that reason, and because it looks sloppy, I'm going to give it a boot.
Eric, if you listen to Alaska and Willem's podcast, The Race Chaser, which is very good, you hear Willem talk a lot about what it was like. I mean, that was season 4 of the American Drag Race, but they barely got any food.
Yeah.
Latrice, the biggest girl on season 4, lost a lot of weight. But it's been a couple days, because they lie to you people. They lie. Every episode is just 2 days. It's not a week. They don't take time off. So I don't think she would have been able in 10 days to lose enough weight to not fit into this as badly as she does, to say that it was made for her and that's what happened. Unless she just stopped eating the entire time. And even then, I don't know.
It's certainly possible. Finally, we have Priyanka, who gave us the dress that Celine wore when she married her grandfather, René Angélil. And I'm going to give it to Brett.
So she did 2 looks. She did the wedding dress and then the Billboard Music Awards in 2016. And the wedding dress was just, it just looked like any other wedding dress to me. I get what she was trying to do. It just didn't look as good on Priyanka as it did on Celine. But then the other look, the gold look that she did from the Billboard, I liked it. I enjoyed that one, actually. Her wig was better than in the past. And so she also gave 2 looks, so I'm going to give it a toot.
Curtis.
I actually do like the wedding look. I love that she did the headpiece right. Like, that's almost picture perfect. Like, she definitely went in there. She said that it was the same thing. You can even see the beading in the like stomach, crotch area. It looks good. It looks right. I really enjoy the wedding look. I disagree that the wig is good, because it's just a wig. She didn't do anything to it. And I realized, like, she was going for Celine's hair there, but it doesn't really match the same color. And you just popped it on your head and then maybe ran a brush through it. Regardless, I love the look. Like, I do wish she had that signature twirl or swirl of fabric on the hip. That's really, like, that's cool as shit. And she doesn't. But overall, it's still okay. And, like, it fits her well. So it's a toot.
Kai.
First time I saw the wedding dress, I didn't like it. but the more I looked at it, and then especially comparing it, I think she did a good job. She met the brief for sure. And personally, I'm glad that she did have a second look. I watched the lip sync, and I thought that the wig was a great prop for her during that lip sync. I think she worked her hair very well, and maybe that's why I like the hair. And again, last week's hair was so this I really like. I like it, and I think the gold dress fits her so well. She is gorgeous. Maybe I'm mesmerized by how beautiful she is. I didn't particularly like her on this episode or her attitude or things, but God, she can serve looks on the runway. So it's a toot for me for sure.
So just so the people who are watching who are young understand, there are a lot of deeply questionable wedding dresses in the 1990s and the 1980s. Taste did not exist apparently in the bridal industry during that period of time. And this bathrobe, I mean, she did a very good job approximating it. I think it's a terrible dress, terrible. But she did a good job bringing it to life. Meanwhile, I thought she looked great in the gold dress, even though I will say, it's a basic gold dress. It looks great, but it's a basic gold dress. I'm going to go ahead and toot these.
I mean, can I say that she at least had boobs?
Sure, she at least had boobs.
Adding, that she's giving me, and maybe that's why too. It's like so easy to forgive her for wearing something maybe more basic, because she looks like a woman. She's giving me that sensation feel, where instead of boy body. Anyway.
It's feeling the fantasy. No, you're exactly correct. I do think that Curtis pointed out the wig is not really an approximation, because in addition to the color being slightly off, Celine's actual hair had texture to it. There are some waves in there. Like, she could have done that with the wig. But again, whoever is involved in this show, you need a wig boot camp before season 2, because this is not it. None of you are giving me the wigs. And that's a big part of drag. I'm sorry. You can sit there and debate whether or not pads are, but wigs, you got to give me a fucking wig, ladies. On that note, we're going to go to our top 2 of the week. Brett, who's yours?
Mine was definitely Jimbo.
Curtis?
Jimbo. I have only given one shoot so far, and it has gone to Jimbo.
Kai?
Yeah, I mean, it's Jimbo. There's no secret that I already love him, but I think part of me would read him more if he didn't meet some expectations, and I can't do that. So I absolutely have to, for the second week in a row, maybe third. I think third, I'm picking Jimbo.
Yeah, Jimbo for me. And if I'm every other woman in that competition, I really hope at this point they're realizing how badly they need to step up their pussies, because he is lapping you in the race. Like, seriously, it's not even a contest right now.
Especially after his performance in the Snatch Game, which was amazing.
Amazing. Like,
top 5 of this series, of the whole RuPaul series, I think.
Without question.
Yeah.
But yeah, so thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed the Looney Bin. We will be back next episode. In the meantime, please check greatpopculturedebate.com to see if there are any polls that need your votes, and check out the episodes of the show that we've recorded where we yell at each other and argue for your amusement. I'm Eric Resniak. Have a good one. Talk to you later. Bye.